Hey everybody, sorry I'm just now getting a chance to get to this one. Several weeks ago I went to the Midwest Gun Exchange in Mishawaka, Indiana, and I saw a few things, and this is what got me interested in the idea of actually doing the reviews of certain gun shops and um, other places as such. But um, I wasn't able to do any video, but I did take some pictures. And I learned an interesting amount of information both while I was there and actually looking at some of the reviews online. And uh, well, let's just get into the synopsis and I'll let you know. Okay, when I normally step into a gun shop, I usually feel at home. This was not the case with Midwest Gun Exchange. You kind of I walked in, and sometimes you kind of get an uneasy feeling in certain places. And in this instance, I felt really uneasy because I kind of felt everybody, and I mean the sales associates, not the other customers, kind of sizing me up. And then I had that other thing happen where no matter where I moved, there was somebody always breaking their neck to get over there to help me. Now, normally I would say, okay, that's probably good customer service. But if somebody comes over and says, "Can I help you?" less than 30 seconds after the last guy, then I always say there's something up. And that's usually a trick that's used in retail stores because I remember this from being in retail when I was younger. But if somebody looks suspicious and looks like they're going to steal, then you want to make sure that you put the pressure on them by having everybody in the store ask them if they need assistance. Okay, you know what? I get past that kind of racist bigotry stuff all the time. Yeah, I'm a black guy. I was in a store. I was looking at what they had. Now, I make enough money. I don't have to steal shit. And plus, my parents taught me better than that. So, and I've been seeing that a lot lately. I was at a place called Sullivan's Hardware. It was a do it best hardware store in Indianapolis, and I had the same thing happen to me there, which was very strange. And I thought it was at first I kind of wrote it off because there was no one else in the store, but then I saw two white ladies walk in, and they didn't um, break their neck to try and help them like they did me. Okay, so another place, and I should have put in the video I did for that one, was Gander Outdoors. Of course, if you were listening to the video, you probably heard it. Um, but yeah, so that happened there. Um, Now I will say this: they had a great gun selection, absolutely hands down, great gun selection. Probably one of the best I've seen. Period. Where it pretty much ends. The handguns they had an excellent selection of. Rifles and shotguns they had a really good selection of. However, the prices on some of the handguns were just outrageous. There is, for example, there is no reason a high point, any high point firearm should be almost $300 for a brand new one. I've never seen that anywhere, and I I I, I still can't I can't understand why in God's green earth they would actually price high points that high. They had a lot of other handguns that were over. what the average retail price was. Same thing with the rifles and the shotguns. So they're a little pricey on their handguns. Now, in terms of other things around the store, they had an excellent selection of safes. Usually, you don't see too many stores with gun safes, but they had a number of gun safes, which was good to be able to browse and see what they had. Um, they also had a lot of accessories on a couple of the walls, which is pretty good. But it's really just a big room full of firearms, accessories, and they also had some survival stuff. And I looked at those, and they were, I'll say, just a little over what I would call moderate, the average price. But in the end, I ended up buying some tannerite. That way, everybody quits looking at me like I'm stealing something, and I walked out of the store. And that is my story uh, in terms of this stop in the shop, and I actually spent about an hour in there. However, let me go into some of the comments here that I read, and because I thought, this can't be just me that had this experience, but the comments on some of the reviews were actually pretty surprising. Now, this should have been my first clue. 1.5 stars out of 5 stars, and they had 13 reviews, and these go back quite a ways. So I only took about 10 of the reviews, so we'll just go through them one at a time. Alright, my friend and I came into the store, and my friend is, well, colorful, literally. He's a hard-working guy who just happens to be covered in ink, and maybe salesmen think that means he can't finance a trip to the zoo. My friend was ignored by his obvious attempts to get some kind of service out of any of the salesmen. It's too bad for you, Midwest, because little do you know my friend can afford to buy your entire back wall with cash. Oh, the kicker? You idiots did it to him twice. Yes, we came back a year later for a repeat of this experience. You can keep your guns, my friend gives his money to someone else now. That was a 2-star review from 2014. The worst experience ever. Great selection, bar none, only for and the only reason they get a star. I usually bar shop on and have them shipped to a local shop. Make the mistake of having a few orders shipped Midwest Gun Exchange. They are very proper when speaking, but not friendly at all. Their body language, tone of voice leave you feeling uncomfortable. You feel like you're being sized up and under suspicion for transit to the end, which is something I'm not used to. That they charge $35 to pick up your gun. I've never paid more than $20 anywhere else. A local gun shop down in Bloomington ever charged me once. They make the simple exchange unnecessarily excruciating and never again. And that was a 1 star from 2018 January this year. Update. Left a negative review for this awful place of business, so the manager, or lead asshole, Taco Rick, finds my Facebook page and reports all my posts as child pornography and illegal gun sales. That's some bad business practices right there. If this place was run with a bit more ethic and moral, it would be a very nice gun shop. That being said, pros: very large selection, clean bathrooms, nice selection of knives. Cons: price gouging of 22 LR ammo and all ammo as well. Digging into that myself. Everything is more expensive than every other shop in town. Yeah, that and the two. Pricing, to do that one. Staff is, for the most part, neither courteous or friendly. I can see that. Most common accessories are not in stock. You can get a Magpul phone case. Thing easily advertised from a family. Yeah, unless experience with them a bit better than most on here. I found everything I was looking for and some that I wasn't. Price seems a bit high on some things, better on others. A few of the salespeople are a bit strange. EJ is outstanding. I've gotten a lot of stuff here and will get more. Great selling things. I am called to sales. They got my business until they do something to run me off. Drew sold me my last purchase, was very friendly, took a lot of time, explained stuff to me as I like someone with more knowledge than me. He gets 5 stars in my book, will buy from him again, but changing star rating to 1 star as customer service sucks. If you can't help, his boss is a dick. But a lot of the salespeople have attitudes, and the manager Rocco is the worst. Prices tend to be high, and they will lowball you if you sell a gun. Midwest thinks they're the only game in town, but Rural King in Niles, Michigan is selling guns as of October 7, 2013. Update 7913. These guys should be arrested for price gouging. Here the other day, and they were asking $9 for a box of 50 Remington 22 cal Thunderbolts. No, this is not a misprint. $5.99 for a box of 50 Remington 22 cal Thunderbolts, and a 500 round brick is $59.99. A box of 50 Thunderbolts is $1.79 on sale at Dunham's when I stay in stock. I would rather I would rather tell they are so of them and gouging their loyal customers when they think they can get away with it. The man in charge said all sales final, or he would buy brand new gun as being used. His arrogance reflects these people don't care. You're satisfied. For complaints, I will take this to court. The receipt will say no return, no exchange, no matter what. As of now, the receipt says exchange is allowed with a minimum 20% restock fee. This idiot said the receipt is wrong. Returns or exchange treated like I was dirt. Well, looks like they're earning their 1 stars. 1 star review that I found on here. But it says good selection of guns. They tend to be on the high side when it comes to price. However, there are always sales and good deals to be found. If you're selling, be ready to take a Midwest has to turn around and make money on it, so you're not going to get waited for it. Most of the old staff is knowledgeable, but if you get a new guy, don't expect them to know anything about every gun. And for God's sake, if you need help, walk up to an employee. If you stand around waiting for one to come over to you, you might be waiting a while. I didn't have that experience. They all came to me like I was bringing them alcohol or something. All in all, I've had nothing but positive experiences here. Apparently, he's the only one. If I'm looking to sell, they'll always buy, obviously. If I'm looking to buy, they usually have what I'm looking for. No one is perfect, but Midwest and Michawaka comes close. Apparently, he hasn't gone to many gun shops. Okay, it gets 2 stars just because of gun selection. If it didn't have as much in stock, it would easily be 1. I felt like I looked up and down. I walked in. Apparently, this is a ongoing thing over a long period of time. And it was decided I didn't need help from the get-go. Maybe it was my appearance. I walked around the store for about 15 to 20 minutes and treated it with the mild neglect of a stray dog. I guess I couldn't compete with the blonde woman for business to the point I wasn't even asked if I needed help or if I wanted to handle anything, which was unfortunate because I've been collecting guns for many years, and who knows, there might have been a few things that caught my eye. I don't know, like a M1A that was hanging from the wall or the Glock 42 that was in the used case. Either way, I guess a gun shop who is willing to ask me if I need help is at least one step closer to getting my money when a shiny object catches my eye. Because even us short, scruffy, tattooed people can have a job to buy goods and function in society. Hard to believe, but it's true. Okay. Visit this store to get information about a certain SIG pistol. I chose Midwest because they have a decent selection of SIG. I asked the first guy, younger gentleman, about the specific gun. He told me it wasn't available. He offered to check anyone. I could tell he was confused by the model of gun I asked about. I called another gentleman on my way out and asked him as well. The second guy at least talked to a manager. He returned to get my information and told me he would have a manager call me the next day. I never received a phone call. They either don't care or don't know what they should know. I purchased the gun elsewhere, and I will never return to Midwest Gun Exchange. The worst customer service ever, very lazy staff, and pricing was significantly higher than other gun shops in the area. Save some money, shop elsewhere with someone that really knows guns and is eager to help you. And from Mark and Elkhart, we got nice selection, nice showroom. If you want service, though, forget it. Pathetic, disinterested salespeople. I even went in early on a weekday thinking things would be better if they were not busy. I practically had to tackle one to notice me. Obviously, I didn't have that problem. And even then, I had to ask if he would be getting me the items or if I had to talk to someone else. Here's a tip. Midwest, the easiest part of the transaction should be the part where the customer gives you his money. You make it hard, so I look elsewhere. And that is the end of the reviews. And, well, you can see this store has a long track record of poor customer service, making people feel uneasy. Basically, everything I experienced, apparently, I'm not alone. But except for I wasn't ignored, they stuck to me like white on rice. And, well, the rest you found out in this video. So I hope this helps everybody. And I would stay away from this particular gun store. Um, you know, if I were you, should you be in that area? I know if I go back in that area, I will not um, be going to Midwest Gun Exchange ever again. All right. So from here, I'll say um, stay vigilant, stay ready. Remember, it's never a question of if, it's a question of when. And now you have the survivor's edge. Hey, and keep your eyes open for our line of apparel merchandise. You know, everything from hats, jackets, hoodies, shirts, pins, mugs, backpacks, basically anything but the kitchen sink. I don't know, we're still working on the kitchen sink. But we want to put this stuff out for you guys uh, in a way of saying thank you for supporting the channel. And please continue to watch our videos. And now you have the survivor's edge.